Business in the 217 on the WMAY Morning News Feed. Special in-studio guest with us, Karen Conn from Conn Hospitality, to talk about Vinegar Hill Mall and her group just recently purchasing that piece of property. Karen, thanks for taking time with us. This is really exciting because that mall has so much character and so much potential. Walk us through the decision process here.
Yeah, I've been watching the mall for the last 8 months. I mean, just 110%, because I'm just getting tired of watching it deteriorate further and further and further. So I scheduled some tours, I took some people through it and tried to encourage other developers to take on the project. And many of them just walked away with their eyes deer in headlights and major fear. And 8 months later, I sat down with our exec team and I explained, here's what we could do with it. And I laid out a plan, and they had a lot of pushback, and I said, let's just go walk through it one more time, hoping that that would be the hook, line, and sinker to get them to bite. So we did, and they were all like, well, yeah, you have some points. Yeah, I think this would work. Yes, I think this would work. And I said, okay. My realtor friend was standing next to me, and I said, Mr. Phil, I want to put in an offer. And at that point, we put in an offer, did some negotiations. Within a couple of days, we came to an agreement, and then we were under contract. And at that point, I wasn't sure if it was a congratulatory or a condolence, because then I started to think, what did I get ourselves into? But long and short, I do feel 100% confident that we're going to be able to take this project on, and then in the next 5 years or so, convert it and really bring it back to life and make it a community project where it's not just all of our businesses in there, working with the community, bringing in artists, bringing in individuals that can help maybe facilitate a community-style kitchen. Ourselves will have our own operation there. So retail, restaurants, maybe even a bar, a winery, things like that. So
the facility itself has been vibrant at one point. It kind of then, there's some vacant areas within it, and then some more vibrancy came back, but recently it's kind of been not much going on there. Talk about the importance of its location, being somewhat downtown Springfield, close to the Capitol, but also having multiple different spaces within. There's a venue for like live music, right? There's a venue for retail and for other types of restaurants. Kind of walk through all of the different uses that you see happening there.
Well, first, instead of location, I think we need to recognize that this is an iconic property. A lot of Springfield that grew up here and still live here, they remember all of their years of going to the live music, whether it was the Opera House or Pepe Giuseppe's or the Bowers Steakhouse. I mean, it was a part of our lives growing up. It was the place to be when it was in its heyday. And then the next generation, it was the Pizza Man. And then the next generation, it was Julia's Kitchen. So again, it played a lot in our lives as we grew up as an iconic, hey, that's the place to hang out. Then when you couple that with the location, it's downtown center core of the city. It's the nucleus of the city. I consider that part of downtown. It's part of the state capitol complex. It's part of the area that we try to target because it's usually the forgotten inner city that people tend to shy away from and want to go out west. So that was important to us, our proximity to our other businesses. So we'll be centrally located, and so we're moving our corporate office there so that we can oversee the property and facilitate a quicker renovation project. And then we're going to move our commissary kitchen there, expand it so that we can also help out with our other properties in the prep situation. And then we're going to do a restaurant concept, and it will all be in the central heart of the city. So hopefully we'll engage more people to come downtown and to the central part of the city as opposed to going out to the suburbs.
We're talking with Karen Conn, Conn's Hospitality Group. They recently just purchased Vinegar Hill Mall. Surely a lot of memories there at that mall, and they're going to breathe new life into it. Karen, your organization has been buying properties that have historic value to them and bringing about a new use for those particular properties. Talk about the importance of that and why you do look at, instead of going out and finding an empty lot somewhere and building a brand new facility. We see a lot of development on the west side of town. Why not just go out and do something like that, to buy an empty lot and just build on there?
I live by the motto of, if we don't preserve our past, we'll never appreciate our future. So as we travel other communities, in particular Charleston, South Carolina, they've preserved their historic structures. And so they have that real neighborhood, they have that community feel, and it's not a cookie cutter community. It is genuine to what it was built. And we have a tendency in Springfield to tear down the historic properties because it's easier to build something new. It's less expensive to buy something new. It's less of a headache with upkeep and maintenance to do something new. So if it was all about the money to us, we would probably start from scratch, being a strip mall. It isn't. It's about preserving our history and telling a story so that it stays alive and our community is unique to Springfield, Illinois, and its history.
What is that? What kind of message does that send to outside developers, people, that aren't Springfieldians, who aren't from this area, but they see business owners are investing in the current infrastructure that's already there?
I think it tells the future developers that there's the potential there, that if the community itself is willing to put the money where their mouth is, that, hey, there's opportunity for them there too. We still have downtown development that's in negotiations from outside developers, in particular the Ferguson building. We have the building on Washington, the old parking garage. I think there's some still communication going on there with some developers that are going to convert that potentially into apartments. And then you look at what the county and the city are investing in the transportation modal. There's a lot of energy right now going on in the center heart of the city, the downtown, that I think that sends a loud message to developers that, hey, Springfield's ripe for development. Springfield's got a lot of opportunity, and Springfield still has a lot of large buildings downtown that could be converted into residential or commercial space.
Karen Conn with Conn's Hospitality joining us on the WMAY Morning News Feed with Business in the 217 again, buying Vinegar Hill Mall. Give us a bit of a timeline here. When are we going to start seeing some some things happen out there?
Well, first, I'm still in shock. I'm still like deer in headlights that we really have this property. So right now, I think our first move is going to be in a short term, within 3 to 4 weeks. We're going to move our offices over there so that we're on property all the time. We can oversee it, get it cleaned up. Our first line of business will be to clean up the outside so it's more presentable. It feels safe, get more lighting, clean up the trash, go around the building and see what outside exterior things that we need to do immediately. And then from there, we'll be working on our plans for development, working on our kitchen plans, working on our restaurant plans. So it could be a year, it could be a year and a half for our first project to be complete. And then from there, 3 to 5 years for the mall side. It's a large property. I mean, it's over, I think, 80,000 square feet. So it's 3 acres in downtown Springfield. So there's going to be a lot of challenges that we're going to be faced with. We understand that. So this isn't about how fast we can do it. It's like how can we go about this and do it right the first time and avoid headaches, and then provide, again, that element that becomes a community neighborhood hub.
And to see it lasting for years ahead as well, and your purchase of that property guarantees that it's going to be around for a bit.
Well, and I hope it's around after I'm gone. Another 100 years, we're the next generation of the Conn family. The grandkids are taking it on, and hopefully we keep up that momentum of any historic properties that are in neglect. How can we take them on? How can we convert them, adapt and reuse them for public enjoyment? And that's another part of our motto. It's like, how do we take these properties, adaptive reuse them, and make them for public use, because we want the public to enjoy them as well.
A lot of fantastic businesses the Conn Hospitality Group's involved in, and here's another one that we're going to be looking forward to and seeing what you guys make of it. Karen Conn with us on the WMAY Morning News Feed. We'll have to chat some other time about your farm that you've got going on as well, the importance of growing food locally and understanding self-reliance and all of that. But greatly appreciate you taking the time to talk about Vinegar Hill Mall, and we'll talk again soon, okay?
And I hope these eggs help convince Megan that you need chickens.
Yeah, just to show, she brought in some eggs from her farm, and my beautiful pink nails that Megan did paint. We'll definitely, hopefully, this will help her. Go ahead and say yes. Let's get that chicken coop in the backyard.
Thanks, Bishop.
Absolutely.